Yeah, that's right. I'm making another series. This one is called Good or Trash. Can we make a unit good based on how it's ruined? Episode 1 is Natalie. Let's go. Okay, so the monster balancing patch just came out. And so we're here looking at this, and I know you guys can't see this, but on here it says Assassin Light Silent Reaper, which is her skill 3. It says if the target dies, decrease the attack bar of all remaining enemies by 100%. So that's actually somewhat similar to Tableau, in which Tableau will reduce all the attack bars to 0, and then your team gets a whole nother turn. And so now the skills are different, but it's a similar effect. So can it be useful? Let's go take a look. And I believe this is a pretty good example of when things work really well. This skill is actually pretty cool. So here we are. We're starting off, we're buffing, we're stripping, and we're putting a defense break on. Now it's Natalie's turn. Boom, 35,000 kill, and then everyone else gets their attack bar 0. So then your team gets a whole nother turn. Goes through, and you'll notice she did not kill a dismounted Beast Rider, which is not a good thing. You can see here this one worked well. Natalie needs a lot of setup still, even with the buff. But does the buff make her good enough to use? Because I pulled Natalie a long time ago. I believe she was a Hall of Heroes at some point too. But I could not make her work no matter what runes I put on her. She just doesn't do enough damage with skill 3. So that's her limitation. Can this skill 3 additional effect make her useful? Let's find out. So you will see I'm going through, all these are Natalie replays. There's not a whole lot to show you, but we will show you some of the other ones that did, where it did work. And sometimes those replays didn't work because they banned my Verisa, who's my AoE stripper. Then Natalie becomes much less useful. We can see they all have immunity here, so I just defense broke Orion, and I was able to kill Orion, but then everyone else had immunity, so that's all she could do. And Natalie is squishy, so there you go. Riley's able to kill her. Luckily, my Ashir is 302 speed, and he's on a crit damage build, so he actually does pretty good damage. So he's a backup in case Natalie gets killed. And that's basically where this came in handy. It took a little longer because it's Riley, but eventually the guy gave up. He knew that my Ashir would just strip everything off and kill Riley. And so this is just Fighter 2 RTA. It's not like we're up in G1 or anything. So, but people up in G1 could have different units that could make Natalie more useful. Or you might just have better runes. So here I'm trying, I really want to make sure I have 2 attack bar boosters, and Verisa is my only AoE stripper that works really well. So I definitely need to bring her in. And their Prom came in and stunned everybody and put defense break on everybody. So then Natalie's able to do her thing. Everybody's loses their attack bar, everyone gets silenced, and then typically in the matches I am winning, the RTA person realizes, oh, I'm not going to be able to do anything, I'm done, and they quit. So again, because Natalie needs so much setup, I have to use 2 attack bar boosters, I have to have 2 strippers, even if one of them is just AoE, and then an attack power lead or an attack buff. And almost everyone bans Draco because he can give an attack buff to Natalie. My Elsharion is on a crit damage build, so he does good damage too. So there we are, stripping Savannah. Death Verdict kills off, now that's her skill 2. Which she can do about 20 to 30k with skill 2, about 14k with skill 1, the way I have her runed. but only 24 to about 40 with skill 3, which is not crazy for a single target damage dealer. So she's on speed, crit damage, attack, and not too many hit points, about 2200 attack, 206 crit damage, 82% crit rate. But I've noticed if she doesn't crit, her damage is pretty bad, so she needs as close to 100% as possible. I've got her fast enough that with an attack bar booster, she usually gets to go before the other team goes and doesn't get cut. And she could use a little more accuracy, but that doesn't seem to impact her landing her silence that much. Crit damage is less. Enemy HP is now at 42% plus 6%, so she could do up to additional 48% crit damage with these artifacts. They're not great artifacts, but those things can help her out if I soften up a target before she hits, which actually I seem to kind of need to do that, which is making me question, is she really worth the investment? But I did not like her on Rage Blade, especially with I could only get her up to 82% crit rate. With anything else that was decent. So we're going to switch her up. I'm going to do that now. We'll come back. Okay, so we changed up Natalie's runes. One of the things that's nice about Natalie is that her skill 1 is a defense break with a 70% chance, 75% chance of landing it. So if she's on Violent, then she can, and there's no defense break on a target, she can use skill 1 to try to land that defense break, and then she'll be set up to use skill 3. If she procs, then she can kill. Which is, I've used that in some RTA and also arena matches, and that worked out pretty well. So having the ability to occasionally do that makes her a little more useful. But you can see we lost a lot of crit damage by taking her off Rage, which is expected, but we got her up to 93% crit rate. Her attack went down a little bit, but her speed went up a little and accuracy went up a little. So we're going to give her a try. So we boost up. Probably should have saved that strip. Let's see if we can get the immunity now. There we go. Strip off the anti-crit. We don't have any immunity, so now this is a good setup. Push him down a little bit. We could steal the anti-crit. No. Try again. No. But we can kill here. So, dead. Everyone gets silenced. We did not reduce the monkey's attack bar. It's not good. Let's try to steal the anti-crit. We didn't get it. Can we get the anti-crit this time? There we go. So now we're protected from this guy a little bit. So let's kill him off. He did enough damage. But now we can get rid of him. Massacre Vigor. And all we have left to deal with is the monkey dude. And simply to get attack power broken on him. But anyway, so that one worked. And the other thing you want to, if you're trying to use Natalie in RTA, is you need to make sure that there's one on the other side that's somewhat squishy. Alright, can we defense break him? Yes, we can, and we killed him. So that was nice. Put some damage there. Now we should be able to kill her. Yep. And then they're both silenced and lost their attack bars. We don't want Vero taking a turn because now I don't have a defense break, and Grodd is probably heavy defense. So see, only 13,000 doesn't kill there. That's where she's a problem. this will probably kill. Yeah. My Elsharion does pretty good damage, especially with a speed buff. So, anyway, that's her in RTA. But let's go to Arena. Alright, so now we have an attack power lead, attack buff, defense break, strip, and then Natalie. And Natalie should be going last. She's not super fast. So there we go. Now we strip. Still didn't get. Can we get him? There we go. Let's loot. Now we should be able to kill him. Yeah, so he's dead. Silenced everybody else. Proct got another turn, and because I got 4 silences, her skill 3 is back again. So we'll try this one. 35,000. Didn't kill, but another violent proc. Gone. Do some damage on Miho. Steal some of his attack bar. He's silenced, so he can't use his rock. The question would be, how do I kill Miho? Because she won't die to crits. Missed a crit there. Awesome. One offense or defense that I do have trouble with sometimes is Kamoon, Iris, Vigor. So we're going to test her out against that using Fran and Lauren, because Fran and Lauren are a really good team for almost anything. So we're going to push her back. Now there's an anti-crit on there, so we're going to see if how effective that is. See, she didn't crit. I probably should have pushed Vigor back to avoid that anti-crit being on there. I don't have skill 3 now, so we'll just use skill 2, which does some damage. But that was pretty effective there. There's no way I'm going to kill with skill 3. Let's see how much we do though. See, 4,000. Remove the anti-crit, heal up Fran. Get a defense break on there. Push Kamoon back. Some good damage in there. Enough that Lauren could kill. Now we've got a defense break. It's not going to be enough. Nice. I like her damage here. And that should be enough to kill. 19k. And that's through the shield. So that's not bad. Here's another gene. But can we handle this with this team? So we're going to strip. We did not get a defense break, which probably means we're not going to kill. In fact, we're going to try to defense break. There we go. And we got the violent proc. So boom, 33k. Belinus is gone. I silenced Jean, which is good. And I could push her back. Attack power break him. I might be able to kill Jean. No, didn't. But she's real close now. Push him back so he can't heal her. Fran takes care of her. And we don't have a defense break. Still don't have a defense break. Can we strip that? Yeah, we got the buff off. Probably should be able to kill. 24k, not enough, but skill 2 should finish him. So that shows the value of putting her on violent, because she just doesn't do enough damage with an individual skill, and if she gets that violent proc, then she really can kill something, especially since her skill 2 brands. So that's it for her in Guild Siege. She could also be useful in World Guild Battle. In the last place, I think she'll be useful because of her ability to silence multiple targets, which then also brings her skill 3 back into play, is Labyrinth. So I'm looking for a rescue mission with Pixie, because she provides attack buff that I'm not bringing with this team. So we're definitely going to be able to kill Bella there. Silences everybody, reduces their attack bars. Boom, another. And now we've got the Pixie to help us. So we now have a defense break on and low hit point. Lauren Bioproc show. Boom, dead. Everyone should get their. One of them resisted the attack bar. And we violent procced and got another turn, and because there were 5 monsters, our skill 3 is available again. Boom, dead. Everyone, and she violent procced again. So this is the Natalie show. Don't have to worry too much about your rescue dying when nobody's getting a turn. So I think she could be, I should have just used, I think she could be really useful in Labyrinth. So we're going to try to defense break this guy. We got it. I don't want him taking a turn yet. There we go. Push them back. Now we should be able to kill. Boom. Everyone gets killed. 3 silences. Everyone's attack bar got pushed back. Now we can put the attack buff up. Try to push some of these back. And now it's going to be the Natalie show. 48k against someone who has weak defense. Anyway, so that's Natalie on hard on rescue mission. And I think so. Final verdict on Natalie is I think she is good. She is now usable with this buff. She still suffers from just not being able to do enough damage. She needs a lot of setup, but I think she has her place in RTA. She has her place in Arena, and she might be most useful in Labyrinth. So I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for this one. Please like and subscribe below. I'd love to hear some comments about some other units you might want to see featured in this series. Until the next one, see ya.